So, good day, Mom. Good day, Mom. Elenita, this is Asierto from BS in Sciences 1A. So, today I'm going to explain what ethics is. So, first, let me explain what ethics is. So, ethics is a set of moral principles at its most basic level. So, they have an impact on how individuals make choices and conduct their lives. Ethics, often known as a moral philosophy, so it is concerned with what is beneficial for people and society. Next is the explanation of communication ethics. So communication ethics refers to how a person utilizes language, the media, journalism, and relationships in a way that is directed by their morals and beliefs, ideals. So these values include respecting different points of view and tolerating disagreements, as well as being mindful of the implication of one's actions. Third is, I'll explain the 3 out of 10 basic principles of communication ethics in one sentence. So first is, no, but I can't explain it in one sentence, maybe. I'm so sorry. So first is, if you're unsure, simply state that you're unsure. So people on the radio, particularly on NPR, are much more aware that they are speaking on the record these days, and they are much more cautious about what they claim, more aware that they are speaking on the records these days, and they are much more cautious about what they claim to be an expert, and in what they claim to know for certain. That is what you should do to be safe, or on the side of caution. It's not a good idea to be cheap with your words. Okay, so second is, make an effort not to repeat yourself. So it's called condescending, and it's really dull, yet we do it a lot, and we have a point to make, especially in business interactions or conversations with our children, so we simply keep rephrasing it. Third is, keep your distance from the wits. So people don't care about the years, the names, the dates, or any of the other specifics that you're fighting to recall. They are unconcerned. It's you that they are concerned about. They're interested in who you are and what you have in common. So forget about the specifics. Remove them from the equation. Okay? So fourth is, I'll explain the ethics traps. Okay, there are 2 ethical judgments in the ethical trap: a main ethical decision and a secondary ethical decision. A bad main ethical decision is frequently followed by a secondary ethical decision. Okay, so lastly is, I'll explain the 10 ways to have a better conversation. Okay, so first is, don't multitask. To help yourself, consider putting your phone away and allowing enough time buffers on both ends of the coffee conversation so you can relax properly. Number 2 is, don't pontificate. We're all only human, so it's easy to come across as arrogant and superior in conversation every now and again. Third is, use open-ended questions. So avoiding very close-ended questions which could answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, try asking them like what was that like? Or how did that feel? Because then they might have to stop for a moment and think about it, and you're going to get a much more interesting response. Fourth is, go with the flow. thoughts will come into your mind, and you need to let them go out of your mind. By learning to let your thoughts go and go with the flow, you will be much better at adapting to how the conversation is going. Next is, if you don't know, say you don't know. Okay, just like what I have said before, if you're unsure, then say it. Don't pretend like you know everything. So people appreciate vulnerability and honesty, and it should always be the foundation of a good conversation. Understand it's perfectly fine and not to know something, and people do not expect you to know everything. Next is, don't equate your experience with theirs. Okay, so whilst your attempts to show empathy are admirable, so you shouldn't always be the hero of every story. The best thing you can do is give the other person the space they need to tell their story. Okay, listen and lend support if needed. Next is, try not to repeat yourself. If you do feel like you have a tendency to ramble, try to turn the conversation back to the other person. Next is, stay out of the weeds. So just I already explained this earlier, but I'll explain it again. So when recounting experiences or stories, try to focus more on what happened rather than the specifics. Next is, listen. Okay, our job is to focus on the other person's responses. So ask insightful questions and not wait for the conversational trigger to transition talk back to us. Lastly is, be brief. So just get to the point. Don't ever over explain. Are you giving them too much information that they don't need to know? Say what you need to say, then stop talking and listen to what other person has to say. So that's all for today. Thank you very much and have a nice day. God bless us all.